This is going to be a little bit different than my normal post, but let's talk about the neuroscience of authoritarianism.
Go watch this whole video. I've linked it to this one. There's never been a time that Black and brown people haven't had to deal with authoritarianism in the US. It's one of the false things that people believe that once the Civil War happened, things were great. We are to this day dealing with oppression, with authoritarianism, with people who are undisclosed bigots that are using whatever power and control that they have to oppress us. That's not a complaint. That's not like me being the victim. That's just a recognition of reality. What we need now in order to get through these times is to people to grasp and hold on to reality. When people are feeding you alternate facts, when people are coming to you and trying to have these conversations about, you don't understand, those Black and brown people, they're the problem, and they're projecting the evils of the bigots of our world and of our times onto Black and brown people and saying they're inherently criminal and violent. And so in order to get through these times and the times that we have always gone through, we choose joy. We choose joy. If you see us, we seem unserious, as though we don't grasp the gravity of what's going on. Oh, we truly understand. We tried to prevent it from happening and people still did it anyway. We try to explain to people that Black and brown people, like, we love America. We are still here despite the fact that we built it from the ground up. We were the labor. We had inventions and things that we don't even get credit for. Can't get reparations. We got to go bail out Argentina, but we can't give reparations to Black people. And now brown people are deserving of reparations because of the cruelties that we've seen. So I want you guys to stare clear-eyed at what's going on and at how the government participates in the oppression of people, and that it is the government who should be paying reparations. People are always worried about I don't want my taxes to go to that. Your taxes go to blow children apart over there in what's left of Palestine. Why would you not put money in the hands of the people who put it right back into your economy? They build businesses, they make inventions, they make contributions, and they're not in a state of always trying to get revenge. It's not us who's getting revenge. Right now, if you're paying attention, you know who's reacting out of cruelty. You know those people who, out of hate and fear, are attempting to take this country into a bottomless tailspin of economic destruction. There's zero reason for America right now to be in the position that it is. Zero reason for people to be out of work, to not even have the money to do Thanksgiving and Christmas, to not have the money to be able to keep a home. A single family like a single person apartment should be the most affordable thing you can find. It was. But people decided that we weren't going to have that, and that we wanted to enter into in-stage capitalism because, endless growth and sacrifice of humans. Unfortunately, in America, we are a country built upon oppression and human sacrifice. And so in order for Black and brown people to deal with this, and that includes all BIPOC, in order for us to deal with this, we find joy. Black people specifically, and I'm multi-ethnic, but I'll just speak for the group that I present the most associated with. We choose joy. You find the comedy in everything. You take that tough bit of news, and then you add that to you manage the stress associated with the horrors that are going on, because the projected path, they want to create their own Gaza in the United States, in which they can place Black and brown people, because they want to do what Argentina did. That country that's failing right now, and that required a bailout from America, to the tune of $40 billion. You know, before they bailed out the farmers. Yeah, that country decided to get rid of its black and brown, like dark brown people, and they pushed them out of the country. And they decided, a truly Latin country decided they were going to be white. You have to understand that before we were doged, they were doged. And this is going long, so I may have to break this up in pieces. But before we were doged, they were doged. And that's why I was telling you all, you need to pay attention to Argentina, because the fact that Milei was handing a chainsaw to Elon Musk, both of them high as a kite. I guess I should say allegedly, both of them looked as high as a kite while they're out there talking, preaching the gospel of anarcho-capitalism. Excuse me if I said that wrong. But now you know that what they're planning to do does nothing more than wreck the country. In less than a year, our country is in a tailspin. We've been in an undisclosed recession for years. Now we're going to go through a Great Depression if they don't turn things around. So I just want to encourage everyone to choose joy. Choose joy, because that's the only way. No matter what you're hearing, you are taking a break. You got to learn how to take a break. You got to learn how to either walk into your office, if you got your own office, walk into the bathroom, walk into a space and choose joy, and exercise. Refresh yourselves. Take a break. You don't have to pretend that things aren't going on. That's not the way you handle. That will cause you to go down the path that he's talking about in that video. What you need to do is to refresh yourself. Sometimes you need to take a break. It's not that those things aren't happening, but hey, you plan to go and do whatever activity that helps you to vote, to seize power and control, to take back your power from the bigots. Because we all know that Stephen Miller and a couple of other special interests are really the president of the United States, because it's not Trump. Trump doesn't have the intellectual acuity nor the intellectual capacity. I mean, I'm surprised that he's not in that blank stage that Mitch McConnell is, where you're just falling on the floor and you can't walk around without a walker, but you're going to show up and you're going to cast the vote, because we got to own the libs. So the best thing you can do for yourself is choose joy. Go do some line dancing. Go build community. And while you're building community, what people have to learn to do is to seize power and control. What conservatives, the Heritage Foundation, bigots have shown is that they're going to be the police, they're going to be the judges, they're going to be the ICE, the Homeland Security, and they're going to be the president. They're seizing power. The only way we're going to take back and repair this country is that we seize power. And a lot of people don't put you into a tailspin like, what do I do? You're going to vote. You're going to know who your elected officials are. And if the only thing you can afford to do is take your phone, Google who your elected official is, and stay on them, that's what you do. And what will help is this thing, is that the people who have they've been brainwashed and de-educated into binary thinking. So they too want to tune everything out. The problem is that right now they're losing their SNAP benefits, their SNAP benefits, their insurance, and their access to stability. And so we need to scream from the rooftops that MAGA is unaliving. They're accelerating the Great Replacement, right? The Great Replacement is a fiction, but they seem to think it's true. So sometimes you got to go into enemy territory and say, hey, the MAGA is not helping you. They're accelerating the Great Replacement. They are accelerating the birth dearth. And they are unaliving white people at accelerated amounts. And oh, by the way, they're engaging in child sacrifice. Do y'all understand that? Pay attention to and pull. If you use just a smidge of your content to preach that gospel. MAGA's unaliving white people at accelerated rates. They've set it up to happen. You take away people's benefits, because it's not black and brown people who are using public services at the rates that white Americans are. And so they need to understand that. Like, the reality is Trump administration is unaliving you all. I mean, y'all, is that what you wanted? So now we all together need to work to change the situation. And that's how you need to handle it. So choose joy and choose facts.